welcome to Unearthly. In the 1930s, a power-hungry tyrant dispatched crews to the ends of the earth to hunt for a magical stone. The man was Hitler, and he kicked off 2 expeditions to Tibet in search of the fabled Chintamani gemstone. Why was Hitler chasing this gemstone? In fact, why did kings throughout history covet certain gemstones? You'll notice that whenever you hear legends about fabulous gems like the Kohinoor diamond or the Dresden green diamond or any prized gemstone, they almost always involve royalty. One reason for this was that in the past, only kings possessed the wealth needed to acquire these dazzling gems to use as jewelry. But another reason for wanting certain gems had more to do with power than with glamour. They believed that the gems could actually make them mighty conquerors. Merely by owning a certain gem, a king could gain unlimited power with the potential to even rule the world. And because of this belief, kings went to insane lengths to procure these gemstones. And that's exactly why Hitler was seeking this gemstone. He thought that by obtaining it, he could rule the world. And if that sounds crazy, you will not believe what King Mindon of Myanmar did. He procured hundreds and hundreds of priceless sapphires, emeralds and rubies, worth a massive fortune in his days. He then dug a hole in the ground and buried them. On top of this land, he built the fabulous Mandalay Palace in 1859. What was the reason for this strange action? The king placed the gems under the foundation of his new palace to placate evil spirits called Nath. He believed that if he didn't do this, these evil spirits would wreak havoc upon all those who would live in the palace. It turns out that he wasn't the only king to use precious gems to deal with demons. Legend has it that King Solomon was gifted 4 precious gems by God. One of them was a ring set with a dazzling sapphire on it. Known famously as the Seal of Solomon, the ring is depicted in the shape of a hexagram. The ring gave him dominion over all demons. Just by slipping on the ring, all the demonic beings in the world were said to be under his command. But of course, it's also believed that one should never deal with demons because they're inherently evil and eventually got the upper hand, and that's precisely what happened with King Solomon. So in the ancient world and even today, people believe that there's more to gems than just a shimmer. The top 4 gems prized by all ancient cultures for their powerful energies as well as their dazzle are diamonds, rubies, emeralds and sapphires. But some cultures consider other gemstones such as garnets, turquoise and amethyst as being more powerful. And what may surprise you is that in ancient China, they valued jade more than even gold. And there are pretty valid reasons for this. Can you guess which is harder, jade or steel? Why not test and see this for yourself? Simply scratch your jade item with a steel pin. If permanent scratch marks do not form, your jade item is authentic. It's because genuine jade has a hardness of 6 to 7 on the MOHS hardness scale and cannot be scratched with a steel pin. So jade is actually stronger than steel. Jade is therefore extremely durable, which is very important in the ancient world. It's no wonder that an ancient Chinese proverb says, "Gold has a price, but jade is priceless." But beneath its tough exterior, something else was lurking, something prized by the Chinese. They believed that jade has mysterious qualities that made it spiritually potent. Jade was like an armor that shielded you from harm and therefore considered divine. Chinese women wore jade bangles for their beauty as well as a talisman, with the belief that it could protect the wearer. But what if your jade bangle cracks when you're wearing it? This means that the jade has absorbed some of the harm or negative energies directed towards you. Though after this, the jade bangle cannot be used as an amulet anymore, as it has done its duty and one should get a new bangle, as per the belief. The ancient Chinese figured out ways to harness these energies even in one's home. In Feng Shui, gems are said to have a profound effect on the energy of the home. Emeralds are said to attract abundance, while amethyst is used to create harmony. Both gemstones are believed to deter bad chi or negative energy in the house. To maximize these positive energies, crystal trees are created. They look like bonsai trees with resin for their trunks, copper wire for their branches, and citrine, amethyst, lapis lazuli and other crystals for their leaves. Each crystal has its own set of unique properties and they're used together to boost the flow of positive energies in the house, as their main purpose is to enhance the chi of the house. For example, A jade crystal tree is said to give you spiritual protection, while a garnet gem tree is said to bring you fame. The ancient world believed that gemstones possess a cryptic yet intense connection with the cosmos, that these gems had a special link with stars and planets. But the idea of a birthstone, or a gem that corresponds to a person's birth month, is a modern creation. However, its origin goes back thousands of years to biblical times. The breastplate of Aaron had 12 gemstones in it, which included a diamond, a ruby, a sapphire, and an amethyst. In the 5th century, Josephus linked these with the 12 signs of the zodiac. It was believed that each stone released special energies during the corresponding astrological period. Therefore, people would collect and wear all 12 gems throughout the year as talismans. But over time, a trend took off where people began wearing only the gem of their birth month throughout the year, and thus the concept of a birthstone was born. The Chinese secret for protecting one's family was to take an emerald, a ruby, a diamond, a pearl, and a coral, each symbolizing a different deity, and then wrapping them up together in a paper that bore the names of the deities, the moon, and the 27 houses of the moon. This amulet was then hung at the entrance of the home and believed to safeguard all those who lived there. And what's interesting is that this belief about gemstones is found even in the world's oldest religious texts, the Vedas. The Vedas and the Puranas speak about how each gemstone is linked with a specific celestial object. In fact, the Chintamani that Hitler was chasing is first mentioned in the Puranas as having emerged from the depths of the ocean during the churning of the oceans. The Skanda Purana says that the Chintamani is a ruby, described therein as a highly refulgent, extremely bright, most excellent gem having the brilliance of the sun. With its brilliance, it illuminated the three worlds. Chinta means wish and Mani means gemstone, so Chintamani is said to be the wish-fulfilling gemstone that Hitler wished to get his hands on in order to conquer the world. What's intriguing is that according to Buddhist tradition, the Chintamani fell from the stars to the earth. Paramahamsa Yogananda wrote in his famous book, Autobiography of a Yogi, just as a house can be fitted with a copper rod to absorb the shock of lightning, so the bodily temple can be benefited by various protective measures. Ages ago, our yogis discovered that pure metals emit an astral light which is powerfully counteractive to the negative pull of the planets. Subtle electrical and magnetic radiations are constantly circulating in the universe. This problem received attention from our rishis. They found helpful not only a combination of metals and most effective of all, faultless jewels of not less than 2 carats. According to Jyotisha or Hindu astrology, life on earth is affected by the Navagrahas. The Navagrahas are celestial objects that are said to influence the destiny of a person. Nava means 9 and Graha means planets in Sanskrit, so the word Navagraha means 9 planets. But this name is misleading because firstly, not all of these are planets as they include the sun and the moon. And secondly, 2 of these mysterious celestial objects, Rahu and Ketu, do not even exist in the physical dimension but in an invisible realm as per Jyotisha. So here we will take a brief look at gemstones as perceived in India through the lens of Jyotisha. Bear in mind that in Jyotisha, gems are believed to have both positive and negative influences on human life. In order to find out whether a gem is suitable for a person or not, they consult astrologers. In fact, soon after a baby is born, the astrological chart is made in order to determine the exact position of the planets at the time of birth. In Jyotisha, the placements of Navagrahas at the time of one's birth is said to influence one's destiny throughout life. What if Rahu and Ketu show up in the natal chart? It's said to be a disaster if this happens. So how to avoid this potential bad luck in life? Because each Navagraha is believed to be connected with a specific gem, so one way to remedy the presence of these malefic objects is by wearing that specific gemstone to offset the negative energies. It's said that the gemstones are always absorbing the energies of the planets they belong to and act as reservoirs of this energy, gradually releasing it. Therefore, these gems are like a defense system against the negative influences of certain planets. So each gem is linked to a specific planet as follows: ruby, which is allied to the sun; pearl for the moon; red coral for Mars; emerald for Mercury; yellow sapphire for Jupiter; diamond for Venus; blue sapphire for Saturn; hessonite for Rahu; and cat's eye for Ketu. These 9 gems are called Navratnas, and so the Navratnas are linked to the Navagrahas or the cosmos to gemstones. The Jyotish or astrologer examines the birth chart and may recommend just a single gem or more. Wearing all 9 gems is said to benefit the wearer. If the Jyotish prescribes all 9 gems to be worn together, one could choose a Navaratna ring. Here, the ruby always takes center stage as it represents the sun and is always set in the middle of the ring with the others around it like petals. Navaratna rings are believed to be extremely powerful and so effective that they're available ready made. They're popular in many Asian countries such as Thailand, Nepal, Malaysia, and Singapore. In fact, no king or emperor in India was ever without a Navaratna in some form or the other. Since gems are so strongly linked to astrology, every king would have their own personal astrologer. But then the Navratnas were always worn next to the skin as this is said to get the best results. Each gemstone's energy reserve is believed to be continuously replenished by subtle energy rays from the planet it belongs to, akin to a battery. Together, they're supposed to work as a powerful defense as well as a healing amulet by acting as a path for the flow of energy from their planets. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please subscribe, share and like.